Hello, hello, hello. Hold on, let me bring my face up. How's it going, everybody? We are live on a Sunday night. I want to hear how your weekend was. That's our poll question. What was your best day of delivery this weekend? Was it Friday? Was it Saturday? Was it Sunday? Um, or were they all amazing? So, we got people all over the place in the chat. We got Mary. Hey, Mary, how's it going? Kevin, happy Sunday to you as well. Eli, how's it going? Kaylee, good seeing you again. Rideshare, Lisa, you had a great day today. Awesome. So did I. I did not go out a lot today. I only went out for supper tonight. So some of you who are on live stream, you guys want to spoil? You want to spoil what my day was tonight? So I went out from like 5:30 to 8:30. I did 3 hours tonight. Fridays haven't been good lately. Yeah, nothing's been good lately. I'm so ready for all my snowbirds to come back. I miss them. So your best day is always today, Kat. All right. Usually Sunday, but my head wasn't into it. Yeah, I know you were struggling tonight, Kaylee. That's it ebbs and flows. It ebbs and flows. So we're gonna get into all of this here. Good evening, Trey. Good seeing you guys again. I think I probably interacted with pretty much all of you at least one of the last 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I did a really, really short delivery. I did 5:30 to 8:30. I know, send them back. Send them back. We want them back. I want my snowbirds back. So I did 5:30 to 8:30 tonight. I did live stream it. If you want to go back and watch it, it actually is entertaining tonight. In the first 100 minutes of the live stream, I made $103. I averaged $60 an hour for an hour and 40 minutes tonight, from like 5:30 to whatever that would be, 5:30 to 7:10. And in total, I ended up doing 125 in the 3 hours tonight. It was amazing. I started off with a double Uber that they both had hidden tips on it. Turned out to be $38. It's followed up by a large catering order from Doordash Cheesecake Factory that was 31, that had a $29 tip on it. Then that was followed up with a $26 Instacart from CVS for like 13 items. And then we had like a $7 CVS on DoorDash, and then they increased their tip by $1 right after we delivered it. So that was the first, hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. It was absolutely nuts. And then, like it does here, it dies off really quickly. So after we sat and drove around a few spots at the end, we pulled the plug on it pretty quick. I had a couple other good deliveries in there too, but watched a bunch of birds fight over a piece of bread in the parking lot, and also had a cool experience where with my Turco Taco place, they saw I had gotten the order and they saw my car driving by, and they literally came out and brought the food to my car. Like, I didn't even get to arrived at restaurant, and they had already done that. So that was my take. So obviously not necessarily the most money I made all weekend because it was only 3 hours, but I mean, just absolutely, yeah, $40 an hour for 3 hours straight on a Sunday night. I was like, I said at the beginning of the video, my goal was like $50 to $75 in 3 to 4 hours, and we had that goal knocked out in. We had the $75 goal knocked out in like an hour and 15 minutes. It was crazy. All right, let's see. Your best day was Monday. None of my days were good. Yeah, I would say for a holiday week, it was kind of disappointing. Instacart was okay at the beginning of the week, and then pretty slow. What was that? Friday supper was good, right? Friday supper was good. It was super busy and did well for that. Saturday was slow. I don't know how the early today was, but tonight was good. So did Spark yesterday. Customer couldn't add ice to her order, so I purchased for her. Yes, yes, love it, love it. That's how we do it. That's the good customer service. I know you're not always in the position, and depending on what the item is, to do it, but I love it. That is posting this. I know that's a thing. Purchased for her because her son had just had surgery. Turned her $2 tip into a $15 tip. It's like, if you can do it, do it. I know sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't pay for things out of pocket or whatever, but when you can do it, that's it. That's like what this channel is all about right here. So awesome, Lisa. And like, it's super cool that the tip was increased on top of that, but even if it wasn't, it's so worth it. Anytime you can do it, anytime you can pull that off. So I don't know if you got to see the thumbnail tonight. I had some fun with it. Hold on, I'm gonna turn that off. In case you didn't get to see it, I'm going to try it because I'm still learning how to screen share. I had fun making this one. Let me see how. Hold on, I gotta see if I remember how to do it here. It's here. No, it's not that one. It's present, share screen. Then which one do I want to do? Is it that? Sure. That's a window. Photo booth. No, I don't know about that. Let's see. Okay, I don't know how to do it. Anyway, hopefully you saw that. So, all right, so we'll be praying. I actually just I just subscribed to Dashing Maverick right before the stream. I was trying to get caught up on new subscribes to me, and I'm trying to do all of that. So, all right, so let's I need to start adding stuff. So we'll add that to our prayer list for tonight, because I figure instead of trying to remember everything, so if you guys have prayer requests, and I get it, not all of you guys are into the prayer thing, and that's fine. But if you do have prayer requests, we always want to bring them up and cover them. So I'll write that down. I got a list of stuff tonight. So what we want to do, yeah. So we'll be praying for him. What we want to do tonight, we're going to change it up a little bit. Tonight is a brainstorm dump of things, and then what we're going to do is, after we brainstorm dump tonight, because I want to get your thoughts on a bunch of things. I have 3 categories, and then I have an other category for tonight. I don't have anything in my other category, but maybe we'll either define it or whatever, and then we're going to break down each of these categories over the next 4 days. So let me give you the premise here. The premise is, if you could describe to a brand new delivery driver, okay, and I know some of you are in here looking to become delivery drivers, but if you could describe as a brand new delivery driver, what would the perfect delivery driver look like? Okay, and this exercise is not to discourage any of you. Okay, that's not the point of this. This exercise is to help you see if maybe there's an obvious flaw that everybody else in the stream says, well, yeah, obviously you should do this, but you're like, oh, I never even thought of that. Okay, so our goal here is to put our collective brain together as one giant brain, and talk about different characteristics. And these can be both kind of like things if you ordered, so you can put yourself into the customer's shoes, and maybe you have ordered through some of these apps, like something either you appreciated or the opposite of something bad. Okay, so or just things that you've experienced as a delivery driver that you do now that you wish you had known when you'd started. Okay, so does everyone kind of get the premise? Just give me a wave, give me a thumbs up in the chat. So the premise here is just like, if you were designing the perfect delivery driver, what would that look like? Not that any of us is going to achieve this personality, but to maybe give us some different things to work towards. So I wrote down a bunch of notes in case you guys don't want to talk. I have notes, but my goal is I want to let you guys talk, and we're going to talk about 3 different categories. So these are the 3 categories I have, and then if you have something that doesn't fit in any of these 3, I have an other category, and we'll either see if I need to turn these 3 categories into 4, or if the other will be its own category or whatever. But so these are the 3 categories I have. One is the tools, like the physical tools that you should have if you're a gig delivery driver. Anything from the type of vehicle. And again, we're just designing the ultimate. This may not be what you have right now. But like, what type of car? What's the best type of car to have? Things like that. Okay. So I have a list of things that I think would come to my mind. So that's going to be one. It's the physical tools. Some come close. Well, the beard is definitely a requirement, Trey. So you and I have that. You have to have the large beard. So sorry, ladies. That's under maybe that's a physical tool. Anyway, so physical tools that the ultimate every gig delivery driver should have these physical tools, and maybe these will give you some ideas of things that, oh, I don't even carry that in my car, and I'm hoping you guys surprise me with some things that I haven't thought of. Like, that's really the goal here. Like, I want to learn as much. Okay, so that's one. 2 is going to be app specific skills that you need to have, such as things like being able to multitask when you're multi-apping, keeping your apps updated. Okay, so that there's that. Okay, and then the third category, and we're gonna spend time on each of these, and I'll put up on the screen what we're doing, is character. So these are like character traits that you might have, and then there's going to be an other for anything that doesn't fit in a category. My goal is to spend about, this is going to be different. We'll just take a halfway break for drink, but spend about 10 minutes on each of these. Okay, so it's 10-10. So we're going to spend up to 10 minutes on tools, and we'll call it physical tools. Okay, so these are tangible things. Okay, these are tangible things that you think every gig delivery driver should have with them. So I'm not going to read my list because that's kind of the opposite of the discussion. And we can be specific, we can be general, all sorts of things. We'll figure it out. So I just want you to start typing away. What are the physical tools that you would say, if you're going to be a delivery driver from day one, you should have these tools? Flashlight. So, and I'll comment on some of these too. A beard would look weird on you, Kaylee. So, and I haven't been using it because it started to die. So I'll put this as it. I didn't have this on my list, even though I've used it. I like the headlamp. So I've used the headlamp for late at night deliveries. The one that kind of goes around your head and does that, because I really like that, because then I'm still hands free. You have to be careful about blinding customers, but flashlight, headlamp. Okay, good. Hot bags. Yes. So hot bags, I got that written down. I'm going to kind of check these off, that stuff that I have written down as you say them. So just keep pounding the chat. There's all different shapes and sizes. We're not going to talk about these specific. This is the right hot bag to have. We're not going to go that deep in that today. But yes, you need to have hot bags. Yes. Okay. Good. So this is again another tool that I've carried with me that I didn't even think of in this. So, portable air pump, and it actually got me through a time when I had a partially flat tire. It got me. I was able to reinflate my tire enough to get it to a tire place so they could patch it, so I could finish my deliveries until I did that. So portable air pump, and so with emergency equipment too, Kaylee, my portable air pump also has a battery. What do you call it? You can tell my brain is fried from this weekend. It has the portable jumper cables. It's like a battery, and so it's got it. So, and then we'll just say emergency equipment. Maybe we'll do it something like that. Okay, so we got emergency equipment. Get roadside assistance. Okay, dash cam. Good. I actually think I'm kind of realizing even not doing rideshare. I'm like, I think I should have a dash cam, like front and rear. I don't have one yet, but absolutely, that's good stuff to have. Dash cam, rain jacket, umbrella. See, now I'm hardy. I just go with a sweatshirt. But you actually reminded me of another thing that I didn't write down. So yeah, so there's different kind. I know there's different types of air chargers. I have both of those, Trey. I have the air pump that plugs into the cigarette lighter, but then I also have the giant portable battery that you could even charge a phone off of, and you can actually jump a car off of. So there's all sorts of different versions, but definitely something like that. Kaylee, Jackery. Are you saying, is that supposed to be jacket, or is Jackery something that I don't know what it is? So let me know on that. And then headphones. I see you said headphone. Yeah, you guys know that I actually do the double headphones when I'm live streaming right now. I actually think headphones is a good thing. And specifically, I think it shows courtesy for other people. I kind of cringe. I don't know. Maybe this is just me, but I kind of cringe when I'm like waiting and I'm just hearing people da 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 ding da 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 ding da 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 ding. I don't know. It just seems a little tacky to me. So I'm on team headphone for sure. Yep, seatbelt cutter, window breaker. I mean, that's all in my mind. It's in the emergency equipment, but maybe I wonder if we can see if that's something. Seatbelt cutter, window cracker. Yep, I keep those in the car. I have an all-in-one device that I do. Man, and the more you guys are saying stuff, I'm like, wow, I keep thinking of more things that I didn't say. Oh, Jackery, like extra power for your car. Got it. Got it. Yep. I think that's a name I've never heard, but yes. Okay. Extra phone chargers, yes. Oh my goodness, I blow through phone chargers. And I had another one die this weekend. I feel bad I keep taking all their kids' iPad chargers with me, but I'm like, sorry, Daddy's got to pay the bills first before you get iPad time. Phone chargers, phone holders, cases, right? Are you meaning the phone holder, like the mount, like I'm fighting with in my car, Lisa? I want to just make sure. I'm going to add case as well. And I'm also going to, in case you're not doing it, the screen protector too. It's kind of like all like cell phone. Yes. Food. See, I've already filled up just with your ideas. Just with your ideas, I've already filled up the other section just with tools because I didn't get a big enough paper. Yeah. Amount that's not broken. Hey, hey, I resemble that. So you said Subaru Forester. I would say if we want to go slightly broader than that, Lisa, sorry, I wasn't ignoring that. I would say something that you want at least a small SUV, right? I think with that, without going, I mean, I know there's different, everyone's going to have their preference to their exact vehicle, but so my Pontiac vibe is like station wagon, and I make it work, but I don't comfortably make it work. If I had anything like the Subaru Forester, the Equinox, right? Chevy Equinox. Hey Trey, that's one of mine. That's one I had that. That was one of the ones I had on the list. Yep, a change of clothes and a change of shoes, and I've used it multiple times. The sip cup. I knew the sip cup was going to make an appearance here. Sip cup. And then we'll just do food, drink. You know what you a work phone. Yeah. So and I kind of had that in the same thing. I think you will get better results, especially with Instacart, if you have a new phone. I definitely think the fact that I'm using like my streaming phone is like an 8, and then my delivery phone is a 10 for iPhone. I definitely think that it is slower than my competitors who are, what are we up to now? Are we at like iPhone 15, something like that? So like a separate work phone slash a new phone like that. A sip cup is for wine. Going all drinking wine while delivering. Well, that might make the experience slightly more pleasant. That would not be recommended. All right, you guys are you you covering like, yeah, you guys listed probably twice as many things as I came up with on myself, and I still have a few things on my list that we haven't talked about yet. And the two things I have are kind of the same, but they're a little they're a little. You guys are hilarious. Yeah, so Kaylee, that's an interesting thing. That's, yeah, spare tire. We kind of have like this whole there's like this whole setup of emergency equipment, right? And a lot of it's probably stuff that either you have with you all the time so you don't think about it, or you've never bought it so you don't think about it. So I think there's benefits to both of those. So, ooh, screwing your tire 500 miles from home. I'm going to tell you too, in general, this is one of the reasons why I've minimized how much late night delivery I do. I like my late night people. There's some like crazy ones out there, and sometimes you get yourself a really good, stoner type of order from Walgreens or CVS at like 11 or 12 at night. But I often think, especially with only one vehicle and not having someone who can easily come and get me, like sure I have AAA. I mean, I don't know. You could put AAA or roadside assist maybe on this too. Because some of you have your roadside assist with your insurance. So I'm going to add that down here. But even so, I don't really want to have, um, a breakdown or a flat tire at 2 o'clock in the morning. Even in my town where I feel relatively safe, it's just not something that I would really want. So Kaylee, I got a question. Have you tested Instacart on your Android? Just kind of. Ooh, that's interesting. So Kayla says a notebook. Yeah, flat tires are horrible. I've had way too many. I think I've had 3 in the last year and a half. Not fun. Okay, and you feel that Apple is better than Android for Instacart. I mean, some of that could just be regional too. I mean, I wouldn't take everything, right? Everything that anyone says about what works better for them, take it all as a grain of salt, but all right. So Kayla mentioned like a notebook. I think a notebook, or depending on, I'm more digital, so I use the Notes app, um, which the Notes app kind of gets more into the app specific side of things, but we'll talk about in a moment. Oh, your phone's not compart. Is that Android or iPhone or something else, Trey? That's kind of interesting. Yeah. By the way, this is not like a super endorsement. This is no sponsored thing. I actually like getting my tires from Walmart. I don't buy a lot from Walmart, but if you get the Walmart tires plus plus their little replacement plan, if there's an issue, you just go in and it's prorated depending on how much tread is left in your tire, but it's one of the best ways. So I like that. I'm sure there's other good tire places out there, but the other thing that's nice about getting your tires at Walmart and the warranty there is kind of anywhere you go in this country, you're going to be within 20 miles of a Walmart. I mean, there's a few places way out in the boonies that maybe not, but I always kind of like that. An older Android, 3 years older, maybe. Yeah, so that might have to do that. All right. So anybody else we're just about ready to wrap up. We're actually over our 10 minutes on this one, but I had 2 other things that kind of go hand in hand. One is one that I know we've talked about here, but a $1,000. Hey, Two Evil, how's it going? A $1,000 emergency fund for car repairs only. So I would highly, and I have recommended in other videos that separate from your personal emergency fund, if you're going to be a delivery driver, um, I highly recommend that you get $1,000 cash set aside, or have $1,000 credit card that's available for car repairs, that is quickly available. And I recommend it being above and beyond your other personal emergency fund. So I know not everybody is in the position to have that. This is why we're talking about the ideal. But you should, if your car goes down, and this is if you're like me and you are a one car family, this is like triple, quadruple the importance. If you have a second car, then you have maybe a little more flex where it's like it's not a big deal. But if you're in a single car family, getting that $1,000 set aside, so that way you know if you need to bring the car in midweek, you can get it, so that way you're ready to go for the weekend or whatever. So um, you could pick a different number. You don't have to start with 1,000, but I would say if we're talking about the perfect, I mean, if we were talking the perfect driver, I would say probably 2,000 if you're talking the perfect. But if you're talking for a first time driver, I would say the 1,000. And then what goes hand in hand with this, that I put it under tools because that was the only place it seemed to make sense. But maybe there's just kind of, I guess what I'm seeing is we had a lot of things that were just related to car. Um, so maybe the other category becomes the car category. We'll see. We'll see what else comes up when we get to that section. But you need to regularly upkeep your car maintenance. It just needs to be, yeah, and also your right, yep, your insurance. I'll add that. I didn't have that written down. So I'm kind of leaning. We'll see what else comes up, but I'm kind of leaning that maybe the other category, maybe that's actually just the car. Maybe that's the car category, everything that should be in your car. And so, all right. Anybody else have anything for physical tools? Drew, okay. I'm going to add that back on the backside here. Thank you. Thank you for the update. All right. So if you think of something after we move on, that's fine. Just let me know. Just say like something like physical tools. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to, I think we can spend a lot of time on character. So I'm hoping this one is maybe the shortest thing. App specific. And so I mean anything related to, so maybe some of the things like a new phone, would also be here, like having the newest phone. But I'm going to give you one thing just to get the conversation started. But I don't want to give you everything I have. But one I would say is keep your apps updated. Okay, so this is one of the things I have on my list. Keep the apps updated. Okay, whatever apps you have, keep the apps updated. All right. 2, Lisa, and I know you're big on this, and I know I need to dig into this more. Catering. And so I have this as a broader thing written down, but I will add catering to my list. This is the phrasing that I use. Diligent to seek out new app opportunities. Okay. And right now, one of those big app opportunities is catering. But there can be all sorts of different things, and you might find that you are, yeah, keep them updated. Okay, good. Trey, you got it. I'm counting that for you. You got that one. I just wanted to kind of get you guys going to like, so you understand why I put this as its own category. Okay. And this can kind of go broad or whatever, but yeah, I think it's kind of phone. This, just as we're going through this, I think there's like, it's phone and app specific. That kind of pulls out a couple of things from the tools there, and then it's kind of car specific things. Okay, Lisa, that's a really good tip. I'm going to put this one up on the screen. I've never even thought of this, because that makes really sense. I have 2 different folders for my apps. One is for apps I'm on, and the other is for ones I'm waitlisted on, so I remember. Yes, so waitlist and current app list. I really like that idea. That's a good idea. because I don't even know which ones I'm waitlisted on. So, and Kaylee, run on demand on one phone so you can see others pop up with notification. Can I just make one plea to Instacart, since I know they're never going to watch this video? Instacart, can you please just make a noise when a new offer pops up when I'm on your app? Please. You send me a little notification with a noise when I'm not on your app, but then by the time I click through, it's gone. I don't understand why you can't just make a noise, or at least let me toggle on and off a noise. Okay, sorry. That's my pet peeve with one of my pet peeves with the Instacart app. But so I like the idea. Yeah. So the more, isn't there there's like a picture out there, like a guy who has like 10 or 12 different phones. Of course, you got to remember, if you are using multiple phones, even if it's only one app per phone, some people are going to see it and get really angry at you. Just a heads up. I'm not saying that it's justified. I'm just saying that there are people who go nuts. And I'm sure now that I'm bringing a second phone in for live streaming into stores, eventually someone's going to be like, look, he's using two phones. I'm like, yeah, and one phone is recording the ceiling while I'm talking to vegetables. So, like, that's not really helping me out. And I don't mean you guys, I mean actual literal vegetables. That's kind of like a VeggieTales reference for those who have that. So, yeah, so multi-phones, I'm going to put it this way. I'm going to do multi-phones dash keep it legal. Okay. So we're not talking multiple accounts, but we're talking have dedicated phones. And I mean, this goes with things too. Like if we probably have 7 phones in our house, because we like don't get rid of any old phones. But I'm running all my apps on one for now. But I could definitely see the benefit to having Instacart running all the time and not having to switch over. But my problem is, if I'm driving and an Instacart thing comes up and I get no notification, I'm going to miss it anyway. So I would like Instacart to fix that problem. So like that. Okay, so yeah, update apps, catering, diligence, seek out new. Okay. Multi-phones, keep it legal. Waitlist. Okay, I'm just checking off everything, make sure I don't miss anything here. Think that I have that. Okay, I have a couple more. If you guys have something else, let me know. Like I said, I don't think there's too much here. And this one might be my personal bias as a creator, but I think, and you maybe have other things, but I think a digital subscription to something to listen to is worth it. My personal preference, and I would, just in my case, I would encourage you, YouTube Premium. I forget what it is, like $15 a month to go ad free on YouTube. And you're still supporting your monetized creators, because they still get a portion of their videos that AdSense runs on, because you're just paying to get out of that. So you're not hurting other YouTube creators. But the amount of things that I have gotten to listen to ad free, I mean, I've consumed just hundreds of hours of content from YouTube creators and learning all these different things. You know, I'll just, some days, if I'm not live streaming, like I just pick a theme. Like I want to learn everything there is to know about running a Patreon. That's how I got it set up. Now, is my Patreon perfect? No. Does it have a lot to go? Yes. But I had no idea how to do it. So I literally listened to probably 30 videos on how to make a Patreon, like over a span of a couple of days. And it's just all playing like that. Now, some of you guys might want like Audible, or like, you know, some sort of audiobook sort of thing. But I would say, you know, I'll just put YouTube Premium or audio subscription. So in other words, the point is, even if, or Sirius XM, any of those things, something where when there is a slow time, every slow time should be filled with some other way of growing you in one way or another. And so I can tell you, and first of all, I know I say it a lot, but thank you again to everyone who hangs out on the live ride-alongs. That's been a huge like blessing part to the live ride-alongs, is because Now it's a slow time. Instead of me defaulting to what I might normally default to, which would be like, I'm just going to scroll shorts on YouTube, and like 30 minutes later and 5 missed Instacarts because I got too caught up in a short, I've done nothing. Now it's like, okay, I'm still keeping my head in the game, but I'm getting to talk, getting to know you guys, answer questions as random people come in the room and everything like that. Hey, Womble, how's it going? We're talking. I know you have this all mastered, but we're talking about what does the perfect gig delivery driver look like? And so we're kind of talking about phone app specific stuff. We talked about physical tools. We talked about phone apps. So we're just talking about having some sort of like audio subscription, XM satellite radio, YouTube Premium, Audible, something like that. Something where you can be listening and learning during the slower times. So I have a couple other things. If you guys have anything else, let me know. But the kind of the everything slowed down a little bit. So the next thing I had regarding apps is you need to be aware of changes to platforms. These apps change really, really quick. And if you're not keeping up to date with the changes, now you don't have to read every email. There's enough good YouTube creators out there that give updates as things come out. But if you can stay on top of your emails, there's a benefit to it. You need to know. You should not be surprised. Like the first time you hear of things should not necessarily be through email. You should at least be aware of the changes that are coming to platforms because they've been rolled out in other markets. They're being test run. Like you need to know. And like I don't do a ton of that sort of notifications because there's really a lot of YouTube creators that do it better than me. Pedro, Doordash, Santiago, and your driver Mike are two of the best that I know of. And I'm not saying there's not others. Those are just two of the ones that I followed for a long time that are really quick to get app update changes to the platform and everything. So that's one thing that I have there. And then I don't know exactly where to put this, but I just think the perfect YouTube driver. Yeah, Mike is so good. Like it's good. Like anytime I see he's going live with something, I try to have it on if I'm not doing something else. And if you guys have other like, I'm not here to say like you have to just go to me. So like if you have other YouTube creators who are really good with like getting breaking news to people other than your driver Mike and Pedro. And I know not everybody likes every creator. That's not the point. I'm just saying like if you're looking for that information, you don't know where to start. Those are two places that I've started. But if you know of anybody else, let people know in the comments. Like we're not going to necessarily publish them all on a list, but like for those who are here tonight, let them know if there's anybody. Hey Caleb, how's it going tonight? Talking about the perfect delivery driver. Hey Womble, and I don't know what's going on, but definitely we will be praying for you here tonight. So you know, thank you for hanging out with us. So I don't need to know what's going on to be praying for you. So I appreciate it. So you watch me for all your information. Well, I appreciate that, but it is okay. You don't have to feel like you're betraying me if you go to other people because I go to other people for information too. And then let's see. The only other thing I had, and I don't know if this was under app specific or our next category, so we'll use it as a transitional thing. Is if you're gonna, I think if you're gonna be successful in this, you need to have some form of multi-apping. You don't have to run 12 different apps at once, but you need to have a handful of apps in your pocket. And so the ability to multitask and multi-app with whatever you're comfortable with, so I would say, I mean, would the perfect driver be able to handle? I don't know how many apps like a realistic perfect human driver would be able to do, but you need to be able to not get overwhelmed. Awesome. Lisa, if you want to, it's up to you, but if you want to drop a link, that's fine if it'll let you. I don't know if it'll let you, but definitely you need to be able. So some people struggle with multi-apping because they can't handle beeps and dings coming from 4 or 5 different apps at a time. So I think that yeah, and of course there's going to be market specific. There's going to be what you're allowed to get on, and some of those things you can't control. But in the very least, you can't be overwhelmed when 2 different apps are going at the same time. Okay, that's all I'm saying. A top delivery driver, maybe you only want to deliver on 2 or 3 apps. Maybe you'll feel comfortable having 5 or 6 on at the same time. I'll go anywhere from, like 2 to 5, depending on how I'm feeling at any given day. But you just can't get to the point where it's like, oh my goodness, DoorDash and Uber are going at the same time. I don't know how to handle this. Panic, panic. So that might be a character thing, might be an app thing. But all right. So the last area I have on my list is character. Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll work on that. We'll work on that soon. Okay, Lisa. That's one of my research projects for this week. It is on the list, and it is going to be a soon needed. Both fortunately and unfortunately, right? Fortunately because we're growing, unfortunately because um, trolls and stuff. So someone who cares about their customers. Yes. I have that probably written down in about like 4 different ways. Yeah, a lot of these things, yeah, I have different words that are expressing a lot of the same things. Yeah. I like cares about customers. I like that phrasing. I just had written down on mine tying to that love on people and be observant. Love on people, be observant. Yep. Courteous. Yeah. So I like courteous, and I think the willing to work is an understated thing because yeah. And Trey, you bring up a wow. You guys are awesome. Okay, so let's start with the willing to work. I think, and I find myself this right, and this gets into one of my other things I won't say yet, and because I want to give someone else a chance to say it first, but it gets really easy to hit that. Okay, so yesterday, right? If you were on with me during part of the live stream yesterday, we had like an hour and a half of no orders. And it was not like in the middle of the afternoon. This was like from 12:30 to 2. So like the end of lunch to at an hour and a half of no orders. And I know when I first started as a driver, I would have gone all mopey, woe is me, should I even try anymore? And different things like that. And so there's that temptation to be like, I'm going to find the first excuse to get out of doing this. So good. All right. Yes, Trey. So courteous to customers and restaurants, right? So like almost all these character traits are not just customer only. They are restaurant, they are store workers as well. So that's why I kind of went more the general love on people, because you're going to come up across people. But do not underestimate the whole idea of caring. In fact, outside of Instacart, Shipt, maybe you end up getting some repeat customers that you have conversations with. I have tons of repeat customers on DoorDash, but they're not long conversations, and I don't think the vast majority of them remember me. But there are restaurant workers who know me, who remember me. You will have opportunities to build maybe not super deep, but super genuine relationships with these restaurant workers. And what was really cool, and I mentioned it earlier, but on my live tonight when I was delivering, I had a restaurant worker come out and bring the food to me because they saw I got the order and they saw my car on the road and they brought it out to me. And I stayed in the live. That doesn't happen just because I'm a delivery driver. That happens because I've never complained when I've had to wait for an order there. That happens because I've taken time to share with them, to ask them how they're doing, put a smile on their face. Like that comes with a lot of time. And I know they're not doing that for every dasher in this town, but they did it for me tonight. Now, if it was super busy, would they have done it? Probably not. They got to take care of their customers first. But it was the perfect situation. It worked out great. But because I've taken time to invest. And so I would say, with that, it's kind of a tie into that, but uses time well. And this has to do, that ties back into the willing to work, but it also uses time well. If you are waiting for an order and you just scroll your phone for 10 minutes, and I'm guilty of this sometimes too, but versus actually taking a minute or two to have a conversation with that restaurant worker, you're missing out. So yeah, all these things, that whatever the thing is, it applies to the customer as well as the business, the restaurant, and all that. So we have that. So yeah, and a lot of these things, I have considerate, which kind of ties into courteous as well. Uses time well. I also kind of tie in with efficient. Yeah, time management. Yep. Because, and there's so many levels of that, like we talked about, going back to like the subscription services. When you're not busy, do you have something to do? So I always have tools in my pocket of things I can do. I have Patreon posts that I can write or respond to, YouTube comments that I can respond to. I might have eBay offers that I can send out. Okay, I might have thumbnails I can create. You saw on live stream tonight, I had a quote, and I'm going to tell you, I already forgot what the quote was, but I was able to forget it because I just recorded the quote using voice memos on my phone. It was something I said, the phrasing I really liked. I might use it for a future video. So I just, as soon as it came up, I created it, I recorded it, saved it, right? And so if all of your downtime is spent staring at funny videos on your phone, and hey, there may be times throughout the day where you just need the mental break. It's 5 minutes of downtime, that's fine. But if you're doing that every single time and you're looking more forward to scrolling YouTube than you are of actually doing those things. Yeah. So Womble, someone who cares about their restaurant staff. Yes, 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 yes. And then I like this. We all work together. I think team player, right? And I think people so underestimate. Everybody's talking about things like let's form a union or let's have a lawsuit or do all these things. I'm gonna put that one up, Womble. That's really good. Um, Everyone's so focused on these things that instead, I want to get to the heart of things, which is why one of the reasons I have this channel, which is let's just help each other make better decisions, right? Like if you see a new DoorDasher who doesn't know how to do something, like teach them, you know, and you don't have to like tell them what to do or what not to do, but you could say things like, hey, you know, like I don't know what orders you take, but like for me, I try to avoid anything under $7 or $8 or different things like that. Yeah, and I'm not saying that unions don't have their benefits, but what I'm saying is whether or not there is a union that comes for all these things, that doesn't solve your today problems or your tomorrow problems. That might solve the 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road if people want to go that direction. But there's nothing active. So how do you fix your market today? Well, you got to teach the drivers in your market today how to do things, how to do delivery a little bit better, how to be a little more efficient or in. And I know sometimes it's hard because a lot of drivers don't want to talk or interact. At least that's how it is in my market. But a lot of times you can see the look of a newbie who's just trying to do it. Like they're not going to hurt you. The newbie driver isn't going to hurt you if you teach them how to be better. If anything, the better a newbie gets, then the better your market gets. So yeah. So and Caleb, like that's I totally get what you're saying. There are different levels that you can go to for this. But in the intermediary, there are issues that your lawmakers can't fix. Like your lawmakers can't fix if the drivers in your area are stealing food. Lawmakers can't fix if the drivers in your area aren't using hot bags and stuff. So I'm just talking on the practical level, like what's things that we could start doing today, that would make things better. So good. Anybody else have any other personality character traits that you guys can think of? Yep. You're probably more bold than me. I tend to try to just read body language and then make a choice. But yeah, if anyone's willing to listen, help them. Help them. Oh, thank you so much, Womble. Yeah, hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, we definitely appreciate it. So I have two other. Yeah, so positive is good. I don't actually have that written down. Now, I don't think you need to be like always looking at everything. Oh, that customer just tip baited me. Wow, that's so nice. Like I don't think you have to be that. But when I talk about positivity, don't let the past affect the present. Okay, don't let the past affect the present. Yeah, at least that's how it is in my market. They just don't like to talk. Right. So, in other words, here's how I like to look at positivity as a DoorDash driver, which is this: your previous order maybe didn't go well, but don't punish the next person who you're delivering for. Right? Don't do that. Stealing is a big no. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like honesty, integrity, and we covered that a little bit last week, right? Like if you're ever tempted to steal food, it probably has to do with the fact that you're just not eating enough and you need to bring food from home, which we already covered under the physical tools anyway. But yeah, I mean, honesty and integrity is like that's huge. Like, don't steal. You don't steal other people's food. Um, so I had two other things. I think one of them we kind of covered, which was being personable. Like it's kind of like being friendly, but do that. Yeah, don't work when hungry. Don't grocery shop when hungry either. Don't work when hungry. Don't grocery shop when hungry. Caleb, yeah, they're supposed to be, but not always. Oh, that reminds me of something that I've actually thought I need to carry, which is I think I should be carrying some extra sealing stickers in my car. Does anyone do that? Does anyone carry either tape or stickers in their car for like sealing bags that don't stay sealed or different things like that? I think I should probably have some. They're probably really cheap to buy like 1,000 pack on Amazon. So they're supposed to be sealed, but I can tell you they're not all sealed, especially a lot of our local restaurants don't seal. You have tape. Yeah, so tape or stickers in your car to we didn't mention that, so I'm gonna add that. This and then this is the last one. You guys know this if you're on the channel a lot. This is the last character thing I had, which is well, yeah, or a staple gun, tape, stickers, staples. Any one of those, just a weighted seal bags that don't come to you sealed. So this was my last character thing, and then we'll do what are you drinking, and then we'll just do anything else that because I'm not saying these are the only categories. This is just what I came up with. That's like the three main areas I'm checking off. So last thing I have, and you'll know this if you're familiar with this channel, is emotional stability. When I started as a delivery driver, I did not have this. And it had nothing to do with deliveries and it had everything to do with unreconciled issues in my heart and in my soul. Okay. So emotional stability is so important. And it's kind of that positivity, this being positive in general and not letting a past order affect the present. That's where it comes from. And, you know, you just have to be even keeled. We had fun on the stream tonight, made $100 in 100 minutes, $60 an hour for an hour and a half straight. It was great. It was fun. But I stated, like, I'm not going to get arrogant and get a big head over like this idea that, oh, look, I did so awesome with deliveries, nor was I going to let myself get down yesterday when I had an hour and a half with nothing. Because guess what? In those 3 hours, the hour and a half of nothing yesterday and the hour and a half of great orders today, I had 3 hours where I made $100. And I mean, that's still a really good 3 hours, but it all equals out in the end. Like, yeah, you want to get better, but I didn't deserve the 3 good hours today any more than I deserve the hour and a half of good today any more than I deserve the hour and a half of nothing yesterday. I didn't deserve one over the other. It's just what I got. And you need to have the emotional stability to say, look, some days are going to be good days and some days are going to be bad days. And on the bad days, you got to just grind out the best you can. On the good days, take advantage of them, enjoy them, be thankful, and move on because it's not about you. It was the day that DoorDash, Ubereats decided to send you the good orders. I mean, and even tonight, I had one good order on Ubereats. It was stacked. It was 2 orders from one restaurant, and it turned out to be $38. But that was it. If I was doing Uber Eats tonight, I made $38. Literally didn't see another good order. It just happened to be the first 2 orders of the night, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful and I'm blessed for those orders and I'm blessed for $100 in 100 minutes because that's not something that happens all the time around here. So I'm thankful for it. But I can't be like, look at me. I'm the best dasher. I'm the best Ubereats driver. No, I'm emotional stable for the highs and for the lows. So good. And I wrote this down too because Trey, I like this. Flexibility. You got to be flexible. You got to be flexible with what restaurants you're going to. Sometimes you got to be flexible with the hours you're willing to work. You got to try different things. You got to sometimes go to different zones, different markets. Yeah, flexibility is a huge thing. All right. So before we move on, and the move on part is, well, my other section got filled up. So between the notes I had and the notes you guys had, you totally destroyed my half sheet of paper. But I have a backside, thankfully, so you can brainstorm. But what are you drinking tonight? I have blue Gatorade, which I was told will turn my teeth blue. So thankfully, we're almost finished with it. But we had it for the end of my son's baseball season, which is now over, sadly, but happily both. Sad for him, happy for me. Patience. Yeah, I'll add that too. Patience. And I there's probably a better word for this too that comes to mind. Bottled water, water. So this is the word I'm saying, but it's probably not the right word. Opportunistic, because doesn't that kind of a negative connotation? I don't know. But someone who will take advantage of opportunities when they're there. So let me know if there's a better word, or I don't know. Is it just me, or does opportunistic have a negative connotation to people? It sounds like you're trying to take advantage of other people. I'm not trying to do that. But just to say that, like, realize that there's going to be different opportunities. Hey, Orange Gatorade and Team Gatorade tonight with you, Caleb. So, for example, you know, not that it was great all week, but I knew Instacart was probably going to be good leading up to the 4th of July. So it's like, okay, so I worked extra this week because I knew there would be better opportunities this week than maybe a normal week. So that's why I put extra hours in and then was able to get the extra payout because of it. So I don't know if opportunistic is the right word there, but all right. So this is your last chance. You can convince me of something else, but the way I kind of see it is at the moment. Well, so if you have anything else, any other suggestions, let me know and I'll write them down if they either fit in a category or not. But I'm kind of seeing it as character, car, tools, and then phone. I kind of, yes, take advantage of any opportunities presented to you. That just sounds like way too many words to write. I'm tired. Take advantage. Hopefully I can read my own chicken scratch. Otherwise, I'm going to have to rewatch this whole stream to figure out what I wrote down and what I meant. So that's what I'm breaking this down into at the moment. Character, car, tools, and phone. So, but if anybody else has anything else that you think doesn't fit in one of those categories or anything we haven't talked about, and I'm not saying this is an exhaustive list. I'm sure if we got 50 more people with us, we'd come up with a few more ideas. But I think this is like a really good profile of what we're looking to talk about and doing that. So what we're going to do then, so chime in if you have anything else. Thank you. I mean, you guys, I think 2/3 of this stuff is stuff that you guys came up with, stuff that I didn't even have off my initial list, which is why I wanted to do it this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this list and I'm going to break it down into the next 4 nights. Okay, character, car, tools, and phone, and build a little bit of a checklist for you guys, and maybe I'll figure out some form to bring this. Oh, thank you. I've been trying to keep up with you. Yeah, be respectful of customer information. So maybe that's under character, like protect privacy. That's a big deal. You know, protect privacy, respectful of customers' information. I would put this under character too. because the opposite is to be ungrateful is being thankful. I think if you are doing gig delivery work, whether by choice or because it's the only option for you, either way, you should be thankful. There is, I think it's a really unique time in history where all you need to do basically to get started, and obviously there's a bunch of things that we think you should do as we're talking about tonight, but you just need a car. I mean, if you sign up for most of these apps, other than Uber, pretty much everyone sends you a bag. At least, okay, maybe not. I won't say that. Grubhub, Doordash will send you a bag to get started. You can take your car, you can take your bag, you can drive to a restaurant, pick up food, drop it off, and get paid. And if you get everything set up, this might be under the app specific or the phone with cash out options, that you have those ready. But you can just turn 15, 20 minutes of your time into cash. And I think that's crazy. Like, you don't have to have this huge skill set. Like, I do believe that you can maximize it. I do believe you can get better the more you work at it. I also do believe there's a cap. I think there's a limit as to how much you can realistically make on these apps. Good markets, yes, you can make more than bad markets, but there's still a cap even in the good market. But that you can just take your car, go to a restaurant, pick up food, drop it off, and get paid. And you can, I know there's limitations, but in general, you can turn these apps on when you want. You can go, you can do this, you can turn them off when you want. Yeah, there's accountability, but you don't have that true boss. You know, I just think it's a great thing. So yes, so Caleb, the simple answer to this is yes, you can use e-bikes, you can use scooters. I think I talked to someone on my Grubhub video who does a motorcycle, if I remember right. I'd have to double check that conversation. So yes, you can. You can get a backpack, like a food carrying backpack that you can use for a bike or a scooter, maybe a motorcycle as well. I'm not as familiar with that. But yes, it is doable. And if you set up as a bike, they will only give you orders within a certain radius, or they're supposed to at least. And I've never done it. I've never delivered on a bike. I haven't ridden a bike in probably 20 plus years. So not saying I won't do it for the channel eventually. I'm just saying, like, I don't have access to one and don't have the money for one or anything like that. But you can do it. You can use a bike. So good. Does anybody else have anything else that we're missing? I think that's kind of, I think that's a good start. And maybe we'll add more things as we go through, but we're going to break it down. Let's just start. I think I'm going to go in this order here. Character, car, tools, phone. So we're going to talk character. We'll talk character tomorrow night. Okay. And we're going to go through it a little bit more, but I'm going to break, like, all of our character things. I'm going to try to break them down into like quadrants or something like that, or, just like an easier way to handle it, but yeah, thank you so much, Womble, for being here. I'm just going to do a quick little update. Thank you guys for participating. I mean, seriously, look at this. This is just like, I love this. I mean, I know we're a small group, but just a nice collective brain dump. Just a couple little channel updates. There will be long form videos coming this week. I am not planning on delivering as much this week as I did last week. There will also be streams. They're probably going to be supper streams, because I'm not going to be going out during the day for the next couple days, so it'll probably be like tonight. If you didn't see tonight's stream, I'm biased, but the first hour and a half is just banger after banger after banger. I mean, I'm telling you, if you sat through some of the boring times this weekend, do yourself a favor and watch that. There's also ducks and birds, or not ducks, but birds fighting over food that we got to live record. That was really, really cool. I'll try to find that and timestamp that too. And I had fun narrating it. I don't know if anyone else had fun, but you haven't done any deliveries this week. All right. Well, I hope that when you get back on the road, Womble, that everything will go well for you. Kevin, you use the electric scooter. So Caleb, if you're interested in like how some of that stuff works, then Yeah, definitely make sure you reach out to people. Awesome. Well, we'll be praying for you at the end here, Womble, too. So we always close our stream in prayer. But we have long form video coming. If you didn't watch tonight's live ride along, the first hour and a half, just super fun. Super fun. It shows you what the potential of my market is on a good day. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some of these things like shorts and some stuff. I'm gonna try to be. I have a plan of I think how I want to cut. It's gonna take a little more work, and I got to get caught up with some old stuff. But I want to basically do a live ride along, and then condense that down to a 20-minute taped version of the ride along for people to watch later with all the highlights. And so it had like the highlights of all the orders, plus any of the little teaching things that we do in there, plus any of the funny moments that happen in there, but condensed down. I have about 5 or 6 videos that I've already filmed that I need to make content of first before I take on something else. Every day you hustle. Yeah, that's how we do it. I mean, and that's what you got to do. You got to hustle. You got to grind every day. And I mean, just because someone's not out delivering doesn't mean they're not hustling either. Like tomorrow, I'm not going to be out hustling in the delivery sense, but I'm going to be listing hopefully about 100 eBay listings to keep my eBay store running, which we had an eBay sale live on stream tonight too. So we got long form videos coming. If you're wanting to support the channel in any way, I hope so. I hope we're going to need an assistant at some point. If you want to support the channel, there is a Patreon. There's both free and paid tiers. So we thank you for that. All the money that's coming into this channel right now, every last penny is just getting reinvested back into it. So the first upgrade is coming. Hopefully tomorrow is going to be a new mount for my filming phone and for I need to get 2 mounts. So that is the first thing. So if you financially support the channel, just know I'm just going to keep putting that money back in to make this channel better for the foreseeable future, so we can keep increasing the technology. There is also the Upside app, and there's a link in the description for that if you want to do that. I also got my first referral using Fetch, which you can use Fetch to scan receipts. And when you scan the receipts, it'll give you points, and those points will go towards gift cards you can buy. So it's not quite as good as Upside in my opinion because you don't get cash back. But yeah, the camera fell on the floor like 3 times tonight. It just like it was not pretty. But the ride along overall was pretty. Just the camera falling on the floor was not. I'm gonna add one more thing because I just thought of one more thing, but I'll save it for when we get to the car thing. For that day, I came up with another idea here for that. And if you have other ideas, just add them to the comments or whatever. So yeah, yeah, the phone was my mount just can no longer support the weight of a phone, Womble, so it just kept falling on the floor. And I don't know if you were on for any of those, but then you get to see the crusty, dirty floor. You get to look up at my hairy legs. Neither one is a great sight. So we'll have long form videos coming this week. We're gonna, if you want to support the channel, you've got the Patreon, you have Upside, you have Fetch. Those are 3 options, and there's also some other affiliate links down in the description below. That's basically it. Thank you guys all for hanging out. Just kind of a nice fun stream. I appreciate all of your time, all your thoughts, and I'm gonna try to break this down into some easy to chew things. I think we're gonna close in prayer. I know we got 2 people. Yeah, you get to suffocate under the bag too. Yeah, I gotta make sure that no one steals you when I go into the mall because that's where all the sketch people are. It's like sketch people live at the mall, but thankfully I didn't have to do any mall deliveries tonight. All right, so I know we got 2 people we're praying for. Two Dashings, Dashing Maverick, Dashing Womble. We're gonna pray for you guys, Drew, Dashing Maverick, and then Dashing Womble. We're gonna pray for them, as well as just everything else. So if you don't want to hang out for prayer, totally understand. You get that. Thank you so much for hanging with us. But if you want to stay for prayer, we'll stay to the end and close everything out. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Probably live stream most suppers this week, at least through Wednesday or Thursday, something like that. That's the most likely, and then the night stream Sunday through Thursday. Yeah, I know. Well, maybe if I get a better mount, I can figure out a way to like hide the phone. I'm working on it. So, all right, let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for tonight. We thank you for just this chance that we get to come together and just share with each other, debrief with each other, learn from each other. Father, I'm just so thankful for just all the people and the knowledge that we've all gained and that we can use to help each other and just so many things I didn't even think of going into the stream that other people did. So I'm just thankful for that. Father, we pray for Dashing Maverick Drew, that you would just be with him and his health, and kind of the sickness coming on quickly. And I know how that can sometimes be frustrating and even scary and different things. So we just pray that you would just give him wisdom to know how to treat everything. And if he's using doctors, give the doctors wisdom as well. Pray that you just help him heal up quickly. We also pray for Dashing Womble, that everything will go well with him, that he'll be healing up and get back on the road soon as well. We thank you that at least we have this form of community and support of each other as we go do these things. And we just thank you again for this time that we get to spend together, and this gift of YouTube that we have to get to know each other and learn more about each other each and every day. We thank you for the orders, and we just pray that you would help develop us into the men and women that have the character that we talk about today, and that maybe eventually too, that that you would bless us with some of these tangible things that we maybe don't have yet, as we kind of grow in our ways of serving other people. And we just pray this in Jesus' name, amen. Thank you all. You guys are so awesome. Again, I highly recommend you watch the first hour and a half of the live stream from tonight. It was just a blast. It was the most fun I've had delivering in a really long time. And so if you haven't done that, go for it. Appreciate you guys. Dig deeper. Thanks for hanging out with us. Amen, amen, amen. Hope you all had a great day. Thank you for the support. We'll be back here tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, as well, all the way through Thursday at 10 o'clock, and then some live ride-alongs probably at supper for the next couple of days. So hopefully with the new mount tomorrow. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Thank you, Trey. Bye.